and welcome to the show. Today is Sunday, April 13th. I'm your host, Troy Davis.
And I am your John Verde. Welcome to Critic versus Critic.
In today's show, we will be reviewing movies that we have been sent in from all across the world, from people with different tastes and different things that they enjoy, and different movies made from high budget and low budget films.
Just trying to get their art out there and be seen.
The staff spends all week going through good, bad movies, the ugly, to decide what we should do, show to the world. And some are good, some are bad. We show them either way.
Today's movies that have been chosen couldn't be more different from each other. We have a survival guide style documentary, an action movie starring a pretty famous legend, and we have the top pick horror film for 2013.
Well, let's get down to it. Our first movie is an action-packed cop story starring three-time award winner Nuck Choris. The first time I saw Nuck Choris movie was his debut role as Bruce McBad in the original Crime Cop. It was a major success, and it was followed by the sequel, Crime Cop 2, and then eventually Crime Cop 3D. After that,
Freeze!
After that, there were some more less successful movies that didn't really hit any kind of note at all, such as Pirate Cop, which was a huge flop, obviously. Good Cop, Wolf Cop, that did even worse in theaters. Well, I'm excited to tell you that even after that, there are better movies coming back from Bruce McBad, and he's finally gonna hit the big screen with Crime Cop 4. And when I say Crime Cop 4, I mean crime times 4.
We've been sent the movie, and we are going to give you at home the first sneak peek of the newest film from Nuck Choris. Let's take a look now at a scene from Crime Cop 4.
Pizza delivery.
I didn't order pizza. What the?
Time to pay, and not for the pizza. You're going down, Billy Mean.
Oh, hey, here. Thought you might want to have this back.
Billy, my partner. Now you're really going down.
I don't think so, McBad. Well, McBad won't survive this, but I'll live to fight another day.
I'm McBad to the bone.
Well, if you ask me, looks like we got ourselves another big hit from Bruce McBad. I thought this one actually was probably way better than the first one even.
You can't be serious. It looks terrible. Crime Cop 4, personally, I'm not sure we ever needed a Crime Cop 2. I don't think the plots of any of the Crime Cop movies have ever made any sense to me. The acting in this movie was so awful. If it wasn't my job, I don't think I have watched the whole thing.
See, the problem is you'll never get it. See, these movies, they're made and they're supposed to be fun. There's no need for any other cops to show up because Bruce McBad is gonna handle business every single time, single-handedly. You know he's not really dead when a bomb goes off or he gets shot in the head because it's Bruce McBad. That's the whole point of it. The action is non-stop. The fighting scenes are epic. I mean, Billy Mean is probably the most perfect bad guy ever made up. You gotta give this movie a positive review. I don't understand how you could do anything else but give it a thumbs up.
Whatever. You just like bad movies. You always have. And another thing is, where are all the other cops? I don't get it. And I will never understand what you see in these low-budget productions. Personally, I thought it stunk. I don't even give it 2 thumbs down. If we had a movie rating scale that went that low, I would give it 2 cell phones up for the amount of times I checked my messages during this picture.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I tell you. Well, our next film is a documentary. Well, actually, I wouldn't call it a documentary because it's fictional, but its style is shot like a documentary.
Yeah, they call it it's like a mockumentary, basically.
That's a good one. I like that. A mockumentary. Well, our next movie we are going to review is a mockumentary that is supposed to be taking place about 9 months after a major global disaster that sent planet Earth into an ice age that few or no people lived through. This film starts 2 brothers. The main brother, who is in front of the camera most of the time, seems to have some survival background, and the other brother films him. Even though one brother is behind the camera, most of the time the 2 show their close bond and strong will to live. They are constantly facing challenges throughout this adventure across the Arctic. Said to have been set in Arizona, the snow-covered landscapes makes this film look like it was shot somewhere in Wisconsin. With snowstorm after snowstorm that has buried most of the city, the brothers in this movie must continuously stay on the move, building shelters as they go. With little to no food, these brothers try to survive the terrible weather and the harsh living conditions by following the migration of small animals, staying close to fresh water sources, treating the camera almost like a diary. The brothers document their journey and show off techniques and methods of survival. Building igloos, salvaging for supplies, and hunting are only a few of the things you will learn while following them through their adventure across the frozen tundra. Let's watch a clip. Let's watch a clip from this chilling story of survival. Arctic tundra.
Possibly the last lighter on Earth. Let's hope not. Since the pole shift 224 and a half days ago, life has required new skills. Spend my days hunting small game, squirrels and rabbits.
Brothers collect any kind of metal pieces they come across. Arrows or sharpened rocks to use as ammunition, armed only with a rifle that has run out of bullets. Our main character uses a slingshot to hunt. Knowing the chance of actually getting something to eat is slim, every night they take their hunting and gathering very seriously. I don't know about you, but I couldn't hunt or fish without the normal tools. These guys are very good at surviving, and it shows in every part of this film.
I can't imagine surviving off of heat from a candle. It does look kind of warm in there at night, though. The nights in the Arctic.
The only way to be nomadic is to be able to move quickly and leave your home behind if you need to. So we are always on the hunt for new supplies whenever we come into a once populated area. But right now we are deep in the wilderness, looking for any food and shelter we can make or find. Now most people wouldn't think it, but a single flame from a single candle is enough to warm up a small igloo and keep you warm through the night. The only problem is, one day we're gonna run out of candles, and then we'll have to build a bigger igloo to build a bigger fire. And as soon as you're done using your candle, always blow it out. Save as much as possible. My brother and I are the only survivors that we know of, so we've been filming this in hopes that we will one day present it to fellow survivors.
The nights in the Arctic are too cold to survive without shelter. It's amazing really how the brothers were able to build a new shelter almost every single night. Regardless of how tried they were or how hungry they were, they knew that the shelter was the only way to survive the night. There is one thing I will say here. The speed they built the igloos in this film is very impressive to me.
Well, this one was kind of dull to me. I know that the magnetic poles have not shifted because clearly there is no ice age happening outside. So I found the rest of the production to be pointless, just a waste of time. I understand the survival aspect of it. It was real and the things they were doing were real and you would survive like that, but it just was not interesting at all. Knowing it was fake just made it horrible, so thumbs down for me.
Well, no surprise here, but I completely disagree with you. This was an awesome idea for a film, and the survivalist aspect made it all the more real. These two will really live through an Arctic ice age, and I bet anyone paying enough attention to the details of their lessons probably could survive an ice age too. I'm giving this one 2 thumbs way up.
Well, right now we have to go to a commercial break, but we will be back to review right after a word from our sponsors.
Auntie Sheila.
Uncle Jay! Hey! Hey, Uncle Jay! Uncle Jay! Uncle Jay! Hey! Hey, Uncle Jay! Uncle Jay! Hey, Uncle Jay!
Tired of not being able to get things done? Well, now you can. With Blam.
Hey, Uncle Jay! Hey, Uncle Jay! Uncle Jay! Uncle Jay!
Blam. Blam. Are your kids driving you up the wall? Well, stick them to the wall with Blam. 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 Blam! Now available in travel size. Blam! Blam is biodegradable, non-toxic, and unethical. Do not use Blam on children under 3.
Hey, you! I'm a talking head! Hey, you! You know what you need? A haircut! Haircuts! Come on down to 3rd and Washington for a haircut! Come on, get your haircut! I'm just floating. Come on down to 3rd and Washington. 997 haircut. Remember, 997 haircut. I'm a floating head. Whoa!
This summer, May 10th, Student Operations presents Will Stone's Dr. Time. This is an adventure through time you don't want to miss. Starring MPTV legend The Nighthawk as Dr. Time.
fake laugh.
Welcome back to Critic versus Critic. For those of you just joining us, we have been reviewing some movies and disagreeing as usual on whether or not they were any good. We have one more movie for you today, and after that one we already have watched, I am really hoping it's a good one.
Well, honestly, I don't think you would recognize a good movie if it hit you with a truck, or if a good movie was a truck and hit you. So.
That's funny, because I was thinking the same thing about you. But we only have a half-hour show, so I don't think we have that much time to grow into how horrible your taste in films are.
I don't know why you have to be so mean. In that case, we have one more movie for today, and it's going to be a horror movie sent to us all the way from Europe. It's a movie by the award-winning French producer / director, WILLIE Stahon. I hope I said that right. WILLIE Stahon. Okay, I think I pronounced it. You got it?
I think you
I think I
did.
pronounced it. Okay.
In this film, 4 traveling friends get into a traffic accident way out in the middle of nowhere and enter this abandoned foundry way off the main road to get out of a winter storm. It's always funny to me how horror movies start. 4 clueless teens go into an abandoned building, like those 2 guys walking to a bar jokes. It's always the same. We usually don't show too many horror movies because most of the newer ones that come out are full of gore, nudity, and predictability. But this movie is different from most of the American horror stories. At least I can say I've seen. Here in these states, instead of the in-your-face sex and violence that's dominant in most scary movies you see nowadays, this movie used dark lighting, suspenseful, and chilling music, sound effects to tell its story. But more than that, the use of silence in this film has the largest impact on you, giving you that complete feeling of solitude that the director wanted. To experience as you watch the characters come to the realization that not only do their phones not work, but also that no one can hear them scream. The formula of these things put together creates a chemistry of pure terror and hopelessness for the 4 main characters as they try to survive. Almost the entire movie takes place in this abandoned foundry that seems to go on forever, watching as they were wandering through the maze of giant pipelines and endless metal scrapes piles. The scene that scrap piles. The scene took. Good God Almighty, this movie was great. I really enjoyed it. I have never been big into the whole scary movie genre, but I was seriously impressed with the camera work and the acting in this picture. The concept of Dragon Killer was a nice touch. I know I'll never think of that sound metal makes on the concrete the same way ever again. It gave me chills a few times hearing that sound. It would always start quiet and far away, but no matter how fast or how far they would run, the sound would always begin getting closer and closer. A great suspense movie and a chilling horror story. 4 thumbs up.
4 thumbs. It's a lot of thumbs. Okay, so this is gonna amaze probably everybody out there and you as well, but I actually did like this movie. It was a good movie. I would like to give it a thumb up.
Wow.
Yeah.
We agree on something. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. I've known you for a long time. I do not agree with you. I thought it was an original story, actually, and I really enjoyed the camera and the light work as well. There was that building, that really just gritty looking irony building that was awesome. The director probably took one look at the building and was like, all right, I don't need another scene in here. This would be a perfect place for a horror movie. I also like that it had a little to no talking, being a French movie, because I mean, my family may be French. I do not speak French at all. There's no way that I'm going to be able to follow along with the movie and read the subtitles. It's impossible. So there was little to no dialogue, so I could actually pay attention to it, watch all the different scenes, and actually be involved with the suspense instead of just reading. So I got to give it 1 thumb extremely high in the air.
Well, there's a first time for everything, isn't it? 2 thumbs on critic versus critic. I don't even know if I am allowed to say 2 thumbs up on this show without getting sued, but it doesn't happen often, so I think we should be okay. Okay?
I mean, I'm okay with 2 thumbs up. I think that everybody else is. If you look at like the way the director involved himself with every character, I watched the behind the scenes, and it was basically him either smacking one of his actors or giving them a pat on the back. So.
Yeah, he's a very strict director. I respect his work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being a part of one of his movies one day, but who am I, you know?
Yeah, you're just a critic. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is critic versus critic. And I think that if you see something like a girl running through a metal scrapyard, right away you're gonna think, you know,
Get out the scrapyard.
get out of the scrapyard.
Yeah.
But what does she do? She runs. She even drops her flashlight at one point and goes back for it, because light is something you need when you're about to get killed, right?
And like I guess, but
Yeah.
run, get out the way.
Exactly,
you
but
know?
that's why I liked it, because it was amazing. And sadly, that is all the time we have for today's show. But next week, we will be reviewing the newest Will Smith summer blockbuster, as well as a short film that's been getting a whole lot of buzz, because it was done by a kid who was only in 5th grade. It should be great, and it should be a great show. So be sure to tune in. And I am Troy Davis.
And I am John Green. Thanks to all of you at home, online for watching, and good night.
Good night.